G'day! In this video I've got a HP Victus 16 E0185AX. What's the problem with this one? A faulty keyboard. So this one's one that I'll hopefully be able to resolve. And as I've looked now, I've either been sent or I ordered the wrong keyboard. This would be in black. Oh well, oh well, oh well. Looks like it's going to be a blue with a black. Anyway, looking at here, this will need to be plastic welded into position. Or at least I hope it will be a bit easier than I anticipate. Knowing that, it's probably not going to be. Because to get in there, I have to take out the motherboard, the battery, most other things. Then I have to take out a metal bracket, which is plastic welded into position. And it is not pleasant at all. So to be able to replace the keyboard, we need to do a full laptop teardown, which is not something you want to do unless you have to do. And in this instance, that's what I'm going to have to do. Battery I've already got disconnected from when I've opened it up previously. I've skipped the torque screws that are in the bottom. I believe they're torque, if memory serves me correct. Here I have the connection for the keyboard. Here I have the connection for the backlight. It's a matter of taking out every little screw that I can see. Best take that screw out so I don't mix it up. Along the way we'll find out how many screws are actually holding this together. So this was a budget eBay purchase. It didn't have any storage or any RAM. I managed to salvage some more RAM out of another computer, or one that I've previously tore apart. And if I'm lucky, I'm not sure if this cooler stays attached to the motherboard or if it goes attached to through the motherboard to the shield. But I'll take out what I can and leave, hopefully. Take out what I can and leave what I hopefully can. Already mixed up the screws now that I've already forgotten where they're meant to go. So, oh well, that will be a problem for later, Rick. Later on in this probably very same video. Disconnect. This one here connects differently. This one needs to clip, push up. Go. Cable. Another cable. One more over here. I'd say this cooler is going to need to come off, and there's probably some hidden screws under there. Maybe. One fan. I'd say you must push under the cooler. That is a very beefcake power cable. Aha. Hello. Forgot this one over here. Now if I try and lift. Slightly better. Yeah, slightly jammed under here. If I can best disconnect the display, put that out of the way. I wonder if I can fold this up the majority and twist. No. It isn't being held up by anything underneath. Except this trackpad cable. You still see one screw here. It's not actually connected to the main board. At least it doesn't look like it's connected to the main board. There we go. Yeah. Wi-Fi antennas, disconnect, disconnect. One mainboard out of the way. Just organising everything off camera, keeping it nice and neat. Next up, these here will need to be taken off. Probably need to take off everything else that we see here as well. Here. Come off. Nope, that's at an angle. That's fine. And undo these screws here. And then that's going to need to come off, so it's even more trickier. It just keeps adding up this one. Go over to this side now. Undo these three. Those three. Lift that up, lower it down. Can I get that power cable? No, I cannot. I think most of these I'm just going to have to bend out of the way. I'll also need to disconnect the front speakers as I don't want to accidentally burn them. When I burn, I will be using hot air. Bottom corner down here. Speaker, speaker, speaker. Off, lower, drop. This one here. Just a bit of card reader. And out of the way. Now I'm almost safe to heat this up. We'll fold this out of the way. It's going to be hard to capture this one because I'm going to have to tilt the machine. From here, it'll be a matter of heating the majority of this up. Here's my heat. So I want to heat this up for a little bit so I can take off this black plastic, and after that I will be using a hot air gun at around about 250 degrees Celsius to heat up all these individual bits. Now I have changed the camera angle because it will help me do the job. It won't make it pleasant to see, but it'll give you the idea of what is the method I'm going to be using to get into this. I have to fold these and tape these out of the way, or else they're going to potentially get cooked and damaged. So I'll do that now. I'm just going to let the laptop trackpad heat up on my blue mat at about 60 degrees Celsius. And that will hopefully heat up the keyboard, which will then heat up this, and I can hopefully take that plastic trim off, that plastic trim shield off in one piece. But we'll find out. Now I've got my heat gun. Got some tweezers. I'll use my pointy tweezers or flat. I'm going to go flat. To begin with, I do want to see if I can just tear this off without causing any tears on it. If I can keep it as one piece, that will be preferred, because I will need to put it back down after the fact. I will note that this feeds through the gap here, and this tape to the trackpad is holding it. Yeah, I'm probably going to disconnect that trackpad actually. I can see that cable getting very cooked. I'll move that out of the way. Go. Hopefully keep going along. Bugger, a few of those stayed. Falling apart in this second half. but I will need to reuse that so the motherboard doesn't short out on this. Now, if I like that, my current temperature of 420 degrees is not probably going to be a bit too much. Let's crank it back down. Now, I might just start in a relatively empty corner, like that. Around. Looking at it, this hinge connector, let's have another bit of metal going over it. Looks to be holding that down. I'll have a look there later. The thing here is I don't want to break them, I just want to pull the plastic upwards, so then after I can push it back through and hopefully squish it back down. I'm now up to 300 degrees Celsius, just because I'm lazy and I don't want to wait. Side. Just twist this a little bit. Just going to keep proceeding along. The screw. Hold it a little bit. see if this will pull out or not, like so. And backing plate. I'm going to almost do the same with the screws here. And at the screws, I mean the plastic welds on the keyboard. Well, my haste, I did accidentally break this section here, which probably won't be so bad once the keyboard gets in there, but for now it's not great. Bugger, right here. Didn't quite go entirely to plan. Put this down. See if I can get the replacement one to fit. I've just got it slotted in down here. Move this out of the way for now. Try and pop it in. Okay. That's better, a little bit snagged. Better just proceeding around, making sure they push through. Righto, so that's now sticking through. Next up, putting this one on. Very similar to that. Line it up, push through where it can. You make sure you have some backing to push down against. I don't on this one. There we go. Alright. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. Apart from that little break down on here, the rest of it was pretty much okay. Now I should be able to feed this back through. This is where it's going to get a bit trickier. Which way do we need to go? I've already forgotten. This way. Now I need to move my heat pad out of the way because it's currently hindering rather than helping. Why is that? Because I need a flat surface to push on. Without that flat surface, it's not really doing much. Before I push this down, I need to make sure it's under both of these. Right now it is not. This one too. Now we're under. Now I'm just going to push down to make sure it goes through. This is where most of the pressure on the keyboard, if you get a really spongy keyboard, it's because these aren't mounted. Ah, bugger. After all that, these two right up here aren't in. Damn it. That is rather annoying. They meant to slot in. So I've just pinned down a vast majority of it. I'm going to see if I can just unscrew this section and hopefully lift it up and put it under. Don't think that's going to be the case, but well, damn. It's going along so well. So this section here is part of it. I was trying to save time. Time was not saved. Cool. So, slots over, screws back in. I'm going to put these screws back. Luckily this section here just lifted up. Get a few more screws than I needed to, but oh well, some days that happens. So far this one's, for a replacement, it's going in relatively easily compared to some HPs I've worked on in the past, or MSIs, where, yeah, they didn't go overboard with the amount of screws. Granted, they're mainly on the outer perimeter, but on the inside there's a sparing amount of them. Hopefully that means the keyboard's still relatively squishy, or not squishy, nice and clicky, but we'll find out soon enough. Put that one back in as well. Continue around now. 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going over it once just to push it all down, and then I'll go over it again and give it a little blast with the heat gun, but this may very well just be enough for it, what I'm doing right now. Especially once it's all tightened up and squished down, there's really not much, nowhere for it to really move to. There we go, so right now that's mostly alright. So I'm just going to go around it and try and squish a few of them down to help hold it into position. I'm mostly trying to smear or squish down the top and smear them to the side. If I do that, it kind of locks them a bit better. This one being all bent up, down. Sometimes you just need to hold on for a little bit longer, just to make sure it stays. I'm just going to leave it at that for the moment. Right now, if I try and shift it, really not much movement, which hopefully means when I flip it over, there's also going to be not much movement. We'll put the screw back over here, just so I don't forget about it. Yeah. What I should be able to do is lay this back down. With it mostly going back where it came from. Okay. That will fold over like this. That will go here. And wherever I put that trackpad sticker, about here, probably go back on here. Marvelous. Go back down. It's going to eventually go like that. Cool. Original keyboard's not looking too crash hot. Now let's see if we can backtrack a little bit. What have we got? What have I got? What have I got? Where do you go? Where do you go? What have I got? One there. This one over here. And what have I got in screw related stuff? This one here is speakers. It's starting to make a little bit more sense now. Be a little screw over here. There'll be a flat screw over here. Nope. Probably mushroom over here. Long screw over here. Medium to stumpy screw over here. Next up I'll put in is the hinge screws for the screen. Then I want to close the screen, or close it over, or flip it over, and have a look and see it, what the keyboard is looking like. Hopefully we're okay. doing. Just follow the arrows. 1, 2, there. 3, and long one here. Oh, that's all the bottom screws. I'm going to have to take the tape off, let these go back to where they should be going. Should hopefully rest back to where they need to live. Now he can go back to wherever he lives. Move the tape off this. Put the tape through there. Feed it under this section over here. And now we're ready to close. Ready to flip. So now we have one dark keyboard. The keyboard does still feel rather tight, and I don't actually mind it matching up with the matte of the screen. So that isn't annoying me too much. I did break a plastic section along here, but at a quick glance, I'm struggling to see where it happened. Ah, there we go. Between V and spacebar. Very small. I'm not even going to worry about it. Folding this over, spin it around back to the orientation I was originally working on, and now I'll proceed. We have this one here. What have I got in the screws? These little ones that I lost track of. Good job, me. Good job indeed. Move into the bigger section. Now let's see. The screw would go in there. Nope. Larger screw, will you go in there? I feel like that snaked under here to begin with, because it would have went under this tape. Tape here, lift that up, put that there, put that there, feed it over the top. Cool, that's making sense over here. Getting it in this section is going to be the challenge. Or maybe not. Well, it's mostly lining up to where it needs to live. I feel like I'm going to end up with one or two screws that are not going to go back to where they belong. Go there. That's that one. What if I use one of these long screws over here? Yep, that's holding the cooler in. There's a gap there for something, but it looks like it goes nowhere. There's also a screw over in this corner. I'm going to use one of the smaller screws over here. No, it says you use one of the 5mm screws, which is one of the larger ones. Put that into there. It's mostly lining up where it needs to. That is fine. Another 5mm on the cooler up the top here. This video cable up to here, feed it into there, close that down there, put that to there. Great. Luckily the ones that say 5mm are all pretty obvious. Actually, these ones say 2.5, which are the smaller. Thank you, PCB printer. Put one there. Small one over here, plug in the speaker into here, plug in SD card reader over here, fold over and plug in the new backlight, which hopefully will work. Hopefully it's positioned in the right location and it doesn't give a bit of dodgy backlight bleed on the keys. But I guess I'll find that out when we do. Plug in the keyboard. Hopefully that works. No issues. I can happily accept no backlight as long as the keyboard works, because I do not want to do this job again. It's very much a job that you want to do once and do it right and never have to do it again. Okay, keyboard over here, connect up, done. Where else? So we've got screws. One down here, one over here. At this point, I'm almost need to get the battery back in here, and I'll get the fans back in to know where they're going to go. GPU fan, I believe that was you. Oh no, one thing I failed to remember. I failed to grab out the fan cables. So luckily for me, it's right here. There's one. These I want to connect up last. Just because I don't want to do them. No specific reason. Oh hell, whatever. Do the things you don't want to do first, and then you get onto the things you do. Gonna line that up over the top. Line it up. Push down. Should go click. Yep, that's went click. Line this one up. Over the top. Push down. Should go click. And I'll push, try and wedge those back under. And they should be able to feed through this gap just here. There's a little gap in the main board. This is why I didn't want to do them. They're not fun. That one just disconnected. They're just both disconnected. I suspect I may have them the wrong way around. Actually, there's very little into it. Click. And come on. Click. Could have done that better, but oh well, we're here now. It should feed under here. Have to loosen the cooler slightly. Get some toilet play, get under. Sorry about my head getting in the way here. So I'm going to do those cables last. They are giving me the annoyances. Move it out of the way. Go, that's on. Fan connection. Good. Now I'll use a 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. Next up would be the battery getting connected, or after the next fan. So far most of this is coming back together. Now we'll have to undo this screw up here so it can fit under. Go, that can feed along the fan and push in over here, like so. Bingo. Screw here. Then we've got the SSDs to go after that. I'm now out of the larger screws, so we're pretty much getting near the end of here. And I need to put in the fan header, Wi-Fi not connected yet. Next up we got battery, NVMEs, do a one right here. It should slide in for me. Slide in, push down, screw in one of these screws. Next up the other spreader. And the clips there, sits there, goes here, on top. Good. I will go back to the Wi-Fi at a later stage, but I'm ignoring that for the moment. Battery wise, we can connect up. There, battery connected. And where we go? Screw. Ah, no, one there. Close. I'll get back to that. One left. Missed one somewhere. Maybe on the battery. I'll figure that out after I test it. Now, I did leave out one screw, and I need to reconnect these blasted Wi-Fi connectors, which are very annoying. I'll hold it over the top and use a relatively T-based screwdriver that's flat on the top. Just going to hold it over and just push and click it in. At least that would be the idea. There we go, one on. And the next one is not quite on the right angle. There we go. Click and click. It's on there. Next up I just need to figure out where this other screw came from. Ah, and I can see it already, right here. I missed it. Got it now. Brilliant. Funnily enough, it looks like a screw where the main board should be going. Where the bottom cover should be going. Let's go with that. What RAM have we got? 4 gig and 4 and 4. We can do better than that. We can do much better than that. So annoyingly, I've only got a mismatched set of PC4, one at 2400, one at 3200. I'll give those a go anyway. Worst case, it will be kicking and bucking and very angry, but it should be just running at the slower speed. As opposed to the 3200 megahertz that could have potentially run at. I do have a single stick of 16 gig, but I'd much rather go with the match pair. With that on. Ignore the banging, there's some renovations going on next door. The RAM upgrade is just a side bonus to me having that open. Actually. So we can see the keyboard backlight is going. And it's actually going pretty well. There's no real no uneven backlight lighting up or anything like that. The keys themselves do feel nice and spongy. Granted, that result will vary depending on what you do with yours and how well you manage to push those clips back through. Right now, if I go to Notepad and spam some text, I was going to treat it like a touchscreen. This is certainly not a touchscreen. Move that down to the bottom here. You should be able to hopefully see it. There we go. And if I go whoop, and whoop, Control Alt Delete, enters all the way down the bottom. Number pad is all going. Calculator, yep, loading up. One replaced keyboard. As I said, your results will vary from person to person, but overall, I'm rather happy with how. Like I was expecting the keys to sink as you press them, become a bit spongy. That's typically what happens on most HPs. But on this particular model of HP, pretty happy with it. No complaints whatsoever. So I'll give this a bit more of a thorough testing. But for now, I'm going to catch you guys later. Good luck with your HP Victus keyboard replacement, and I'll see you in another one. Bye.